Hey guys, Corey here with Financial Freedom Coaching. Want to get on here and talk to you guys about how to get a budget started. Bear with me here. I got some good feedback on my last video about my background and me saying a lot. I'm going to try to work on that. Everybody should have a budget. It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire or if you're completely broke, barely living day to day. Everybody should have a budget. Whiteboard on order. So that'll be coming, then I can get in more detail with you guys on the videos and stuff like that. So first thing, reasons to have a budget, okay? There's a million of them out there. A couple things that come to mind right away is if you and your spouse are having some money struggles, if you think that you make more money, if you think you make enough money to where you shouldn't be as broke as you are, you know, if you're making $150,000 a year and you're living paycheck to paycheck, barely getting by, there's a problem. You need to get on a budget to figure out that problem. Figure out where your money's going. Okay, that's what a budget does. It tells you where your money's going, or you tell your money where to go. This is where you start to take control of your money. Okay, reality check. Okay. In order to do a budget and do it correctly, you need to be honest with yourself. It's, in my mind, that's one of the biggest things to do in this is you need to do your budget, okay? You got your obvious things. You got your mortgage, you got your, if you have a car payment, if you have a credit card payment, okay? You have all that stuff that you know. You got the water bill, you got the electric bill, okay? You got insurance, stuff like that. That's all the stuff that you know, okay? What I've seen in some examples and stuff like that is that whether one spouse is hiding it from another spouse, or maybe you're a single person and you don't want to admit that you have this extra loan out here, or you borrowed a couple $1,000s from your parents that you kind of just, oh, I'll get them back when I get them back. No, all of that stuff needs to be put into your budget, okay? Everything, every single penny that you owe to anybody, no matter if it's through a bank, if you have a due date on it or not, if student loans are being pushed back, stuff like that, it needs to be put in the budget, okay? The only way to get rid of this stuff is to start tackling it, start taking control of it, and getting rid of it, okay? The first thing in a budget you need to do, I kind of touched on it already, is the 4 walls, okay? Your 4 walls is your food, utilities, shelter, and transportation, okay? That's your mortgage or your rent. That's your grocery bill. Next is your utilities. That's your basic electricity, gas, stuff like that. Depending on where you live at, you know, in South Dakota, obviously our electric bill's higher in the summer because of AC, and then our gas bill's higher in the winter because of most people have gas furnaces and stuff. So there are programs I know through some companies. I personally do the budget gas thing, and then your transportation. That's oil changes, gas in your car. If you do have a car payment, then put that in there. You got to make sure where we live in. Maybe you don't have a car. Maybe you live in a bigger city where they have public transportation. Okay, you need to make sure that that's budgeted in your budget, that you can get to work and get where you need to be every day. The basics for transportation is your gas and your oil changes, okay? Budget meeting, okay? A budget, it's not something quick and easy that you're going to do, okay? You're going to sit down one day and you're going to start it, okay? It's going to take you about 3 months, maybe a little bit more, to finally get that budget dialed in. And this is something in order to get it dialed in, you got to put a lot of time, you got to put a lot of work into it to make sure that you're adjusting where you need to, and you're being true to your money and changing your spending habits. Okay, you'll notice when you do this budget, you'll be changing a lot of things. Maybe you won't be eating out as much. You can cut from this place, or you cut this membership or something like that. Okay, it takes a little bit to dial it in. Your miscellaneous category is very important. You got birthdays, you got Christmas, you know, all this other stuff that goes into that miscellaneous that, you know, kind of changes from month to month. The easy stuff is, you know, your mortgage, you know, your rent, okay? That's the same every month. Usually your electricity and your gas, depending on what type of season or where you're at, you can kind of dial it in, you know, 10, 15 bucks, I suppose, each month in there. So 3 months is kind of the target you want to have your budget dialed in. Okay, and you'll see in those 3 months, you'll start really making some progress in your debt snowball and your spending, and really starting to take control of your money there. So if you are married, okay, you need to make sure that you and your spouse are at these budget meetings. Okay, what I suggest to start is probably weekly, because or bi-weekly, depending on how you guys are getting paid and stuff like that, how much it's clicking. Maybe it's clicking with one spouse and the other spouse just ain't getting it or doesn't want to do it or something. What you need to do with a budget meeting is you need to set a time. Okay, this 7 o'clock on Wednesday nights is our budget meeting time. Okay, it's going to go from 7 to 8, and that's it. Just leave it at that. And after you get going on it, maybe after a couple months or something, you can set it to once or twice a month, a budget meeting, where you're sitting down, you're talking, hey, we spent too much here, or we have to spend this much here. I didn't realize that, so let's adjust this number, adjust that number. Okay, you sit down and you kind of get the nitty gritty. I think it's important that you set a time limit on this. Some married people is one spouse is on board and maybe the other spouse isn't on board. Okay, it's important that you both are on the same page. Okay, a budget is not controlling you. Okay, you are controlling the budget. The budget gives you permission to spend your money. If you are a single person, okay, it's important for you to try to find an accountability partner. It has to be somebody that's really going to push you, okay, really going to keep you true to your word and give you some harsh words sometimes when you need it. Okay, they're going to keep you in line with your spending. Baseline suggestions that you should allocate your money for. Okay, like we talked about, the first 4 walls. Okay, 25% of your budget or less should be mortgage or your rent. Still want to give, even though it doesn't matter where you're at on the baby steps. If you're baby step 2, baby step 7, okay, you still want to give. So 10% is what we suggest that you do in the giving. 10% of your monthly income. 10 to 15% into your groceries, and about 5 to 10% of your income is your utilities, your gas, your water, your city, your garbage. Okay, all that stuff should be about 5 to 10% of your monthly income. 10% is where we say, again, your transportation, your oil changes, your gas. This is the best part about a budget. 5 to 10% of your monthly income should be your fun money. Okay, and that should be for each of you. Okay, if you're a single person, 5 to 10% to yourself. When it's gone, it's gone. You can't come back and say, honey, can I have some of your fun money because I spent all of mine. That's not how this works. Okay, you guys are a team. You got to be a team. As a single person, okay, you got to be true to yourself and only spend that whatever you allocated. Say it's $50. Okay, when that $50 is gone, it's gone. You can decide on any of these things. If you guys, a lot of people in this will get into it, and once they see they're knocking out their debt and all the momentum that they're making and stuff like that, they'll actually voluntarily drop their fund money because they want to hurry up and get that debt done. So you'll start with $100 of fund money to start, and then by the end, they're like, we don't want that fund money. Let's put that $200 per $100 per spouse. Let's put that towards the debt and get this thing knocked out. Let's just do it. Make this fun. It's fun. It's tough to start. I understand that. It's very tough to start. But once you start gaining that momentum, start paying off these debts and moving forward and take control of your money, it's amazing. It's the greatest feeling, right? You're free. Financial freedom. Get it? 5 to 10% goes into entertainment, okay? Whether you go to the movies or you rent a movie or go to a concert or whatever, put that in your budget. Like I said, every penny goes into your budget. Doesn't matter where you spend it, what you spend it on, put it as a line item in your budget, okay? And then your miscellaneous, okay? We talked about this earlier. It could be, I would do a miscellaneous for the family, 5 to 10% of your monthly income. This goes for anything that you forgot of or that changes month to month, okay? You got little Jimmy down the road's birthday party you got to go to. Could be anything. It's miscellaneous. It's literally anything that pops up. It saves you from messing up your entire budget, okay? At the end of the month, okay, you run down every single dollar that you've made, every single dollar that you've spent, right? And if you have, hopefully you have some left over, or you're right at zero, okay? The goal is to be right at zero. But if you have leftover, guess what? You throw that right into your debt snowball, okay? Throw it into your debt snowball, knock it out even faster. That'd be the best thing. Now, I want to get into another thing with that, too. I think it's important. With transportation, maybe entertainment, and maybe even clothing, okay? You got to be careful with this now. There's two ways that you can kind of do this, okay? One, the way that I prefer to do it mostly is to kind of save it, put it away, put it in an envelope, okay? And if you don't spend it that month, say you get $100 of fund money each month, okay? Each spouse. And you only spent $50 of that fund money, okay? What I would do is I would either put it towards my debt snowball, okay? Or if I'm maybe trying to save up for something that's more than what I get in my fund money a month, okay? Maybe I'm trying to buy a new gun and that's a few $100, okay? I'm going to tuck that money away and save that. Now communicate that with your spouse so you guys are on the same page with that. Now you don't want to do that for 3 years and then all of a sudden you got 10 grand in this thing and you got 10 grand of debt still, right? Well, just pay off your debt and then you can save up more money faster and then pay for whatever toy or whatever you want. Okay? Same goes for tires, transportation, stuff like that, okay? I would budget a certain amount every month for transportation, gas, oil change, stuff like that, tires, because tires ain't cheap. I think it's important that if you don't spend that money in transportation and gas and oil changes and stuff like that, you kind of tuck that money away too. Make sure in your budget you have all your memberships, okay? If you have a membership to a gym, Netflix, Hulu, whatever you got going on, okay? Make sure you have each of those in there, in lined items. Like I said, I'm gonna do another video where it's more detailed with my whiteboard. I don't have the best handwriting, but it should be legible for you guys, okay? And we'll keep going. I'm gonna keep trying improving these videos every time I do them for you guys. I know I say a lot. I'm working on it, okay? I just gotta keep doing it, and we'll get better with it. So if you have any questions, comments, okay, whether it's about my content or about the budget, mention something that maybe worked for you, okay? All of that is great feedback, okay? On my next video, I'll answer it. I'll answer it in the comments. Anything you guys got, let me know. I'm here to help, okay? If you have any questions, reach out to me. You can text me, call me, message me, email me, okay? Anything. If you haven't done so already, please go to my Facebook page, okay? Like that. I'm going to be sharing a whole bunch of content on there. I've started a YouTube channel as well. It's called Real Life with Ralph. Go there, subscribe to that. I'm going to be posting these videos up there, doing that, okay? And let's do it. Let's start taking control of our money, okay? The best thing about this, guys, when you do a real budget, okay, most people automatically get a raise. They don't get paid more from their job or anything, but they find money that was just disappearing, okay? When you start controlling your spending, controlling your money, great things happen, okay? So thank you guys. Stay tuned for my next video. Any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, examples, anything like that, feel free to reach out. I'm here to help. All right. Thanks, guys.